in our initial rounds of doing a survey, we had 92 surveys completed. And I picked up an additional 7. And I want to first start by talking about the partnership. I've been around a very long time. I lived in Blitz Towers until I was probably like 22 years old from birth. And the working relationship that I see currently, like the housing authority, meaning Tim and those folks working so closely with us, has made the difference, because we had like 85, and then the staff started calling through the list, calling through everyone and having them come down. And that synergy I've not seen ever. So I thank you guys for, allowing that to happen, because you can see when folks work together, we can accomplish so much. So now our volunteers are inputting the data, and you'll get a sheet with the various things. I can just give you anecdotally what I was hearing as I hit my doors, if you want. There's still some apprehension about what is. So a lot of the folks that I talked to definitely wanted to rehab Bliss and wanted to see some townhouses. There was a lot of conversation about education and job skills in this space, and then always something for youth. So that was the pieces that stuck out to me the most. Finally, like something that probably could be more immediate than not, the folks who currently live in the low rise felt like they weren't connected to the housing authority, to Bliss or what have you. So they talked about like, well, we don't have a bulletin board, so how are we like made aware? How are we brung in or what have you? So communication there to like let them know what's going on might be fruitful. But overall, it was good. I was surprised. I will say this: they don't believe you all are going to do anything. That also was a like, oh, they've been saying that for 20 years or 30. It is not going to happen. So, but it was great. It was great to have the volunteers who came, and it was great to have that incentive, meaning the supplies. Like it was like an incentive for people to engage, which was also beautiful. So, any questions?
So you said that the surveys are being tabulated right now.
Yeah.
Like everything's going to be counted up, or otherwise.
And
great.
And we'll make sure you have the originals. If you want. One of the things that we also did for 99% of the surveys, we did put an apartment number on the top. Because there's certain things in there, because there's other, and we're trying to figure that out. I've been talking to Avonlea. There was room for comment somewhere, and some people made some comments, and we're trying to figure out how we input that. Where do we put it, or what have you?
So, and how soon do you think we will have that? Because I guess now it's like this exciting thing where we can.
Yeah, you'll have it by. I was told that you needed it by your next meeting. Mm-hmm. We personally asked our folks to be done by Saturday, but give us sometime next week. Mm-hmm. You will get it. How many days before the meeting do you need it? Would you like it?
48 hours.
Huh?
48 hours.
Okay.
I just want to say thank you, because I feel like it ended up being something like 99 surveys filled, and I feel like that's like absolutely amazing. So thank you so much. It's really exciting. I'm excited to see all the data and talk to people about it. Yeah, really good.
Go ahead, Marie.
Yeah, I was just going to say that's a pretty astounding result, actually. That's pretty rare that you get that level of participation in any survey. So it definitely shows that you went out and did the outreach. That's how you got that number. That's clearly how you got that number.
And you guys helped.
Yeah.
Well, meaning like the housing authority was there, like Kaya was there that day, both days. So that's a
I
familiar
see.
face.
Yes. yes,
you
yes,
know?
absolutely. Yes, absolutely. I actually have a couple questions about
Okay.
your results. Um, all right. Did you happen to catch any interest in reviving the Tenants Association, which has kind of been dormant for the
Yeah,
last year?
there definitely was some people who were interested. That's why that, you know, I would assume that Avonlea and those, there would be a number tabulated there,
Uh-huh.
but there were people who were interested.
And they're
More,
actually interested
not,
in participating as well, not
yes,
just in
and
seeing one. Okay.
yes,
All right. So, and then the second thing that you said about the low rises, I think that that's something we need to make note of in the RFQ, that whatever plan we end up with really has to integrate the various components of the HHA community, if you will, so that there aren't, tenants sitting in one section of the property that don't feel connected to the other section of the property. So I think that's a really good point that needs to be highlighted. And just the last one, you said something, you said that you were really surprised. I'm wondering what you were surprised by.
oh, when did I say I was really
Oh, well,
surprised?
at some point you said you were really surprised, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm just wondering, maybe you don't remember what you meant, why you said it, but I'm just curious why you said it.
Well, it was, um they knew some of us, right? They didn't know everyone who came and volunteered, but something is changing where they maybe don't feel like anything's going to happen, but they feel heard. They feel heard, and that, you know, it's like it's surprising. It was, and interestingly enough, like there was one question about like, how do you feel about Blitz, something like that, and most people was like, they're good. They're good
It's
for now.
home.
Yeah, like we're good. You know,
Yeah,
we can get
yeah,
some more
yeah,
stuff here for the kids, but we're good.
yeah,
You know, so
yeah,
it's, you know, you can build a, you know, there's a foundation there. There's a level of trust coming in, and I feel like if y'all break ground, it'd be like an explosion of ideas and like
yeah,
this is
yeah,
really
yeah, yeah,
happening. Oh my gosh, like
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
feel like,
yeah.
so
Cool.
that's what I
Thank you. Thank
We're
you.
gonna.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
No, we're gonna. There's no doubt about it.
No, I
Any
just
other questions?
work that you guys have done. Um, I had no doubt, but I had no idea it was going to be like this. So I'm very excited. This makes me feel more confident in what I am doing and the reason why I need to be here. So I do truly appreciate all you guys and the work you guys put in and the hours and the time, especially during COVID time, willing to still go face to face with people, go on their phones, go knock on their phones. That was really, really thoughtful and amazing. Um,
That's the way. And I feel like, you know, as you think about your, like putting together your RFQ and think about like, you need all segments to come together in order that for the perfect storm to go even through the regulatory bodies, because it's just not easy to get right. You guys know it's not easy, and people really, you know, they deserve to live in quality housing. They deserve to have, you know, upkeep, and the federal government has, you know, repeatedly taken money away. I'm just happy that you're, you know, this is important to a lot of people, and to the folks who like who live there the most. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody have any other questions for Glenn?
I just have this one question. Something that I was talking about with Michael Schmiedes today is like, once we have units built, once we have actual, you know, housing for people, like, and I'm sorry if this is just like a question for another time, really, but like, what do you think is the way to try to reach people who have like had to already leave Hudson, who might be interested in coming back?
Well, a lot of that would be through your Section 8 list, you know who poured it out, like reaching out that way. I actually should talk about that. I know I had a, like current, I should bring that up since this is like tenants and something that, but yeah, using the Section 8 list, talking to places like Columbia Opportunities, and working with supervisor committees to like get that DSS list, because when you move out of county and you do like get those services, it's a 90-day window where Columbia County still has to take care of that person, so they would know. And I feel like but I also feel like, man, listen, I'm gonna call my cousins, my uncles, my brother. Like it's a thing. Like it's open, it's available.
Yeah, Rebecca, for your question, I have been contacting all of my family that have left into Albany, Troy, Schenectady, Rensselaer. I've been letting them know we are building new. You can come back, and they want to come. They call me to see how far we are. What's going on? We're ready to come back. We couldn't afford to live there. We had to leave. Everyone that I've contacted, they tell me, we want to come back, please. Like, we want to come back. Like, so like Quentin said, I've been reaching out to my cousins, my brothers, my sister that had to move to Atlanta, Georgia, due to her not being able to afford to live around here. I've been reaching out to everybody, and everybody is interested in coming back home.
And then you have the influx from Philmont coming back home, right?
Right, exactly.
There's enough,
Yes.
But that speaks to an issue that I was having some conversations with my sister, Kaya, when we were going door to door the last time, just about Section 8 and its portability and everything coming up. So, people being able to move and people being able to come in. And I think that's something that you also should look at, because Hudson is like one of the few communities that I'm told that has an open list. So a lot of people are coming in, and or trying to come in, and that's they don't have any preferences, which means Hudson and Columbia County residents get knocked. So you might want to talk to Tim about that, and then think about putting some preferences in that doesn't exist now, which allow.
So I just want to let you know, we did, Tim and I did add that to the monthly agenda, which is the second Wednesday in May. He has started making new language for the preferences. It is going to be Columbia County residents first. And we're going to make a motion on that for the meeting, but Tim has been working on the language for that.
Because you got to think about that as you build also, you have a goal in mind of.
He also let me know that
displaced folks who you want to like have maybe at Galvin motels, maybe at any of these motels or what have you, to come in. And a lot of times they're restricted because of your policies.
Wait, I'm sorry, that you're saying they're restricted because
what I'm saying in terms of Hudson is also, I guess I don't know if it's unique, but it doesn't happen everywhere that it manages Hudson Section 8 also, right? And those folks, you have no preferences. So those like folks from, they're saying, what folks are saying are folks from like New York City are coming in, and there's ways to get to the top of the list.
So
you know that, right? You can, our brothers or sisters who have brothers and sisters who have gone through domestic violence or home, like different things, and that is happening. Also, there was, I had this conversation with Tim and with Kaya, that when they poured out, like if you like take your voucher from here and like move to a place like New York City, like you all have to pay a difference and an administrative fee on top of that. So you're losing money, with some of these things. So thinking about preferences might be important.
Yeah, it's very important. Absolutely. And I had no idea about that at all. And I've been talking to Tim for the past 2 days, and every day he's calling me with new information and he's trying to figure this out. He also did inform me a little before this meeting that they have been overwhelmed with applications from New York City residents. So we have not only our waiting list, we now have a whole New York City waiting list. And I believe Tim said it's about 57 people, 57 families.
Because your list is open and most of the state isn't.
Yes.
Oh, that's crazy. Can we close it?
Okay.
I feel like I have to have that
Close it
conversation.
for people not preferential because they're from Columbia County or from Hudson. Like,
I feel like, yeah, you have two issues to talk about, like even with the community, like closing it, but also like the financial, right? Like I don't want to lose money.
And from what Tim told me, there's only 2 housing authorities that Section 8 list is open. We're one of them, and there's one other housing authority that's open in New York State. Oh my God. So we're like piling in on the only 2 people available right now.
wouldn't that be like insane?
What it means, Rebecca, is like, and as somebody who's been displaced, I would do the same thing. It means you come to Hudson for 1 year, and then you take the voucher back to New York City, and Hudson has to pay.
Right.
That's what it means.
Okay.
That's what it means.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and not even, it could be anywhere, but you know, you only got to struggle for a year. And I would do it, right? You know, people are
Sure.
don't have housing, right?
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Add it to the agenda, guys, for our monthly meeting.
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all. Anything I need, just let me know, but we'll get that to you as soon as possible.
Maria has one more question.
Yeah, no, just a real quick comment. Actually, Quentin was bringing up the issue of the RFQ, and I just want to mention one other aspect to it, which is I really do think that we need to build into that RFQ this kind of grassroots development, not of the tenants association in conjunction with building out this project. And I do think that we need to figure out a way to ensure that that HCHC element, since the work is already being done, it can be built into that. So I think that would work.
Yeah.
So that when we start looking at our partnerships, we can also begin to look at what everybody's different roles are going to be.
I agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm down to have a conversation with you. Just let me know when.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much, Quentin. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. We cannot wait to get the data.
Yeah, it's great. You're like, have fun, like, and you'll learn a lot. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Are we done?
Are we done? Oh. Well, guys, that's it for us. Yeah. So does anybody have anything to add that they would like to add? I'm good. All right.
No, I'm good.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I just have one question. Once we have the survey data, and then what's our what's our next step? Like, what's our next, like, how do we, I guess what I'm, like, what does, then do we just like, how do we build that into our process?
So go ahead, now you go ahead.
So our real next step is having our RFQ, right? So having our draft RFQ, and this tool will be able to act as a part of the RFQ. First of all, the fact that many people responded to the survey, I think just like it's already been said, like whoever is reading that is going to probably be like, oh wow, what? Okay.
Yeah.
So it shows that outreach and working with our residents is, not only just possible, but it's happening, right? And then I think it's very important that we put words in with our RFQ for, making sure that we are having like a local grassroots community effort to assist whichever developer we do end up choosing. And then I think our criteria for developers. So really getting together our actual criteria and because the criteria is going to be so important. It's like the negotiables and the non-negotiables are stuff because it's an RFQ that we don't have to be like, this is non-negotiable yet, right? Because we'll be building the project with the developer. But for now, we need to figure out the criteria. So I would say that that's kind of our focus is taking the survey data, looking through it, making sure that all of that data lends to how we're finalizing the RFQ, and then being able to present that, have residents involved, even explain like, this is what that wording means, or, but sitting down with people and talking to them about it. So I would say that, and then, criteria.
Right on.
Rebecca, I actually think that it's possible that there will be a draft RFQ at the next month. There will be a draft RFQ. It might even have incorporate some of that survey data information too. We'll see how far we get, but I mean, I think Tim is going to do the draft draft
Yeah.
RFQ because he's had a really successful RFQ in Catskill.
Mhm.
They had like what 21 respondents.
21.
21.
Crazy. I've never heard of anything like that before. Honestly, I guess it's just a lot of interest as well. But
That's why it's
so
so important.
no, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Like, that's why our criteria is so important.
Yeah.
Make sure it's both.
But I think what we were going to do is add our bells and whistles to his,
Yeah.
make it ours.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and then Rebecca, well, the survey, it means a lot to us too, because we're on this HCBPA, we're also on this anti-discrimination.
Yeah.
So we're able to keep rolling that ball with that girl
Mhm.
and doing something big. Bam.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, yeah. All right. Cool.
Cool.
This was short and sweet, guys. This was really good.
Yeah. We like them short and sweet.
Thank you for being here, guys.
Thank you so much. All right. Good night, everybody.
All you see.
Good night.
Bye.